Blog Talk Radio.
Somewhere like a dream, your world washed over me and took me far away, so very far away. Made sense of all things wrong, gave hope where all was gone. What do I need to say, really need to say? Your eyes are all the words I need, wanting nothing in return. Your love is unconditionally. I have so much to learn. When I hold you in my arms, nothing seems to matter. I'll never let you get so far. Being there is what you do. When my world caved in around me, nothing through the smoke to see. There you were, still standing like an angel, holding on to me. Somehow you pulled me through, turned faith back into truth completely, so completely. Held strong when others ran, gave my heart a place to stand, and you saved me, more than saved me. Your eyes are all the words I need, wanting nothing in return. Your love is unconditionally. I have so much to learn. And when I hold you in my arms, nothing seems to matter. I'll never let you get so far. Being there is what you do. And when my world caved in around me, nothing through the smoke to see. There you were, still standing like an angel, holding on to me. When I hold you in my arms, nothing seems to matter. I'll never let you get so far. Being there is what you do. When my world caved in around me, nothing through the smoke to see. There you were, still standing like an angel, holding on to me.
And welcome to Legal Name Fraud Radio. Yours truly, me. We'll go on a little escort tonight and see what we come up with. Yeah. Wow, so much coming in so fast. Just where to start? That's the biggest issue I have every day. All right, what do I come in with? Anyway, let's finish off with, the June 15th, 1381 peasant uprising. It's a brilliant fractal of how close we came and shied away because of the false idea that someone has an authority outside of you, life itself. Only the dead would claim that, to steal the life itself, you see. And that's essentially what this demonic entity is. It's just dead. That's why creating life to be dead, i.e. legal name, summons the dead to a court. Well, that's what they feed on, you. by agreement, just by agreement. That's all it takes. It's called a contract. There was a post on the Kate of Gaia discussion group page, and let me get to it. There's so many windows open right now. Okay, let me see. Where was I going? Sorry, I just checked something and lost my entire train of thought. Where was I? Yeah, see how hair thin this is? Anyway, let's get back to the fractal of June 15th, 1381. The standoff played out something like this. The masses of people, we were talking about summoning the dead. Oh, the video about the dog standing at the door, the invisible door that the dog wouldn't walk through. That's exactly the door you put up at every court, every church, every government office, every demonic worshipping entity that's enslaved and entrapped knowingly in the Luciferian construct, and they have enslaved many in that construct that are unknowing of what it is they're doing and what it is they're serving and who it is they're serving. So put that same door that dog put up an invisible door. Anyway, I want to get into Cetaceous, Hebrew character, which leads to cetacea, dolphins, whales, porpoise, mammals, and of course sedition, in that they all have a root sound, and it is about knowing. To see the phonics magic will blow your mind, literally. Boy, the resistance to this one. Yeah, I know. Just do it. Shut up. You'll see for yourself. Anyway, the standoff went something like this. There's this 14-year-old punk king, King Richard II, of course, being, Pinocchio, marionetted by the Uncle John. Oh, yeah. Standing in the courtyard, Smithfield, if you will, and where William Wallace was drawn and quartered, where a couple of others, namely Thomas Baker and a handful of others, were drawn and quartered. John Bull, drawn and quartered. Thomas Baker, drawn and quartered. For those that don't know what a drawing and a quartering is, look it up. You get an idea if you ever watched Braveheart. It's a whole lot more vicious than that, but that gives you the rough idea. But anyway, here they are at the standoff, and Wat Tyler, who is the leader apparent of the Peasants' Revolution, walks from the group of approximately 6,000 peasants towards a couple of hundred armed individuals around the king's guard, basically. And all of the peasants had their their bows drawn, ready to let loose. And this is where humanity did its trip up again. And this is a wonderful little fractal that encompasses the whole idea of what we're doing here on a grander scale, without the literal bows and arrows. No, we're not into. I'll speak for me. No violence, no vengeance. Okay. But the young king, here it is in a nutshell for me. A liar at any age, in any age, at any age, is still a liar. That's it. And I leave it there. Only the one that changes direction will show their way out. Or show me, well, you'll definitely show me who you are. In as much as I will see who I am as well. So, that's how you play the game, as far as I'm concerned. But the king decided, in bravery, or was put up to it, or just out of sheer arrogance. And again, at any age, it doesn't matter to me what guise this construct puts on. It's just a 14-year-old kid. And are you sure? Are you sure? course not. But the actions will tell you exactly what it is. And here's this little upstart king basically demanding that the peasants treat him as their king. And he offers to take them to a field, to talk. It's a double-edged sword, as always. Always open-ended contracts with these monkeys. And the peasants that were ready to... actually, just prior to that, what happened was a squire had said something, "Hey, Wat Tyler, I know you. You're the biggest thief in Kent, the biggest thief of knowledge." Right? Play these things over, right? The good guy's the bad guy's the good guy, at the same time as the bad guy is the bad guy and the good guy is the good guy. You got to see both sides of both. That's the quad. The good and evil in the one, the good and evil in the other makes 4 points of view, 4 angles to look at, right? Double cross it. Make an X out of it. So Wat Tyler is good in that he's leading the rebellion, and he wants things changed for the people as do the people, blah, 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 blah. Standard what we're talking about here. To see Wat Tyler as your typical free man on the land, fist fighter, okay? Hasn't learned to put down the arrows yet, or the flags, more importantly. The arrows are nothing. It's the flags that matter, because it's the idea that enslaves, not the physical effect. The physical effect is the illusion that creates the idea, if you buy into it or see past it. Violence, no. No thanks. Period. Done. No vengeance. That which you wish upon another, you've wished upon yourself. Golden rule. I stick with that one. It's the safest one, in the universe. It's the one that is, the golden rule, the law of all. So anyway, during this outburst from the squire, Wat Tyler, pretending to be king, said, "Take that squire's head off," right? And the Lord Mayor, or the Mayor of London, rides forward, and it's a little unclear as to whether he was going to pick a fight with Wat Tyler or, take the squire's head off. Of course, it's going to be he attacks Wat Tyler and ends up stabbing him fatally in the neck. It would have killed him anyway, but as that one plays out, not very long later, where some monks were trying to hide him and rescue Wat Tyler and stop the bleeding, the king's men found him, dragged him out in the street, and publicly beheaded him where all could see it. In that moment, the revolution, the peasant revolt, was over, because they had chosen, quote, a leader. Big mistake. You don't choose leaders. You are the leader of your own revolt. All right? Because the thing is, Wat Tyler could trust himself to stand, just like you can trust yourself to stand. But you can't trust the 6,000 peasants behind you, can you? And I'll tell you why. Because on a simple word or two from the king, the peasants lowered their bows while they were still flying the St. George standard, the Red Cross, and of course the king's colors. You see, what these idiots didn't understand, you really should watch this video, The Peasant Revolt of 1381, and watch it very carefully to see the trickery of what's going on here. Once you understand that it is merely the idea of an authority that enslaves you, you'll see how these people were completely and totally enslaved, just like you can look around the planet and see these people that are completely and totally enslaved, thinking there is an authority greater than them in the physical realm. There is no authority greater than you, except truth itself. And that's the only authority I stand in. It's the only authority I stand under. Truth rules my house. So invariably what happened was the revolt, and they tried to wipe it out from history too. Very little left in terms of recorded uprising, because at that point the world was at a pivot and could have changed. So for me, regardless of what the king said or how old the king was, it's the mere idea of that whole authoritarian bloodline scheme Peasants, loose the arrows. Fire off the Babylon has Fallen, the bulletproofs. Those are your arrows of outrageous fortune. And what you're doing is you're handing it back to those to make their own choice. Right? And the interesting part about Wat Tyler was when he first confronted the king, he left the peasants and walked up to this group, very nonchalant, very arrogant, effectively taking on the role and the attitude of a king. And while he was talking to the king, he had a dagger in his hand, and he was throwing it from hand to hand while he was talking to the king in a very arrogant way, typical of, a thief or a liar or a cheat. And this is the guy the people chose to lead their rebellion, so it's no wonder it ended in disaster. You lead your own rebellion within yourself. The peasant revolt uprising must occur within you and you alone. And then you will find others of us that have had our own peasant uprising and rebellion within ourselves. Where not one of us is a leader for any other, where all of us lead ourselves and walk collectively as flagships under our own flag of truth. And that's it. And the truth flag I recognize on every ship. And I also see the Jolly Rogers. Okay. But the Jolly Roger in its most benevolent sense is the Christ mind, and you see the X, the crossbones. Much larger symbology than the dark aspect that you have been programmed to look at. You see a Jolly Roger, you think instantly pirates, Blackbeard, murder, death, kill, and that's not it at all. The Jolly Roger was a flag of sedition. It was, I've had enough of the state. And while these guys or girls traveling around in their mentally handicapped way, of course, it's easy to see when they have mental health workers riding with them, cruising around as pirates, and there they are trying to justify their own insanity and the mental health of the police. The GUI elves and the ham L tones. Yeah, we know all about that. It's all in the sound. Yeah, so the problem with Wat Tyler was this: wounded and dying, beheaded in public. And that's where the revolt ended. That's the thing. That's putting all your eggs in one basket, and that was a lot of eggs in one basket with Wat Tyler. And as soon as that basket got smashed, all the eggs went with it, and the people were, left. And of course, there was none of the demands were kept. It did shift things around a lot. There was some adjustment, but the crown, Luciferian crown, had saved its own day through that illusional aspect of authority used against you. In the same way that authority is used against you to worship another in terms of a king, a queen, a president, a prime minister, a clergyman, an archbishop, a pope, or whatever the case may be, is the same program that is played out in the typical patriot free man movement. Where humanity loves to have its leaders. That's the standard program. They want to keep that one going. So in as much as they want to be the leader of your reality, it's okay if you pick leaders outside of their reality, as long as you're picking leaders. You know what a leader is. It's on the end of a fishing line. It's the one at the lowest part, right? The hook is generally above it, along with the bobber. The bob? Hey, Bob, how's it going? All right. And, of course, they're made of lead. The leader is the leader. Yeah, so don't be putting on those lederhosen, okay? You'll get hosed for it. Because one leader falls, all fall. All must lead, and no one falls. And that is the very program that this construct is terrified of us figuring out. It's a very simple one to figure out. It's a very, very simple one to figure out. No leaders were all or gold. You make your own choices, not based upon what someone else tells you to do, but on you seeing it for yourself and following your own heart to do that which is right, because it is right. And that's it. You take the L out of Israelite and you have is right. You just do what is right. Leave the Luciferian aspect out of it. Now, I watched a few different things last night. Excuse me, I watched The Judge. For those interested in a beautiful portrayal of the back and forth of the good guy, bad guy element within the main characters, of course, that being yourself, observe yourself in these things. The Judge is a very good overview and a very scathing overview that you can reflect within yourself. The characters, who they are and how they're played out, pristine, to say the least. So, Kiki, great great post. Of course, it followed in natural order with everything else that I'm watching. Of course, Once Upon a Time was about the wounded heart and how to heal the wounded heart. And truth is the only thing that will. And I didn't get through it all, but I've had it on the computer for a while. Dark City. It's a movie from 1998. Highly recommended in terms of a very esoteric look at things. It'll make sense to you. For those that are playing in the phonics, anagogics, it will make perfect sense to you. Another one I watched as well was the making of Britain in terms of the land masses, the volcanic land masses. And interesting that, according to the map, there was only 2 volcanoes in Ireland, and the history in terms of the geologic, anagogic, was quite something, because there's Ireland and Scotland, part of the main continent, and there was another, excuse me, smaller island continent that was separate from the mainland that moved towards it, that contained England and Wales, and they moved forward, and then of course that Ireland, England, Scotland, and Wales were all part of North America at one time, and it was all ripped away. So I saw a lot of anagogics playing out there. To explain them, won't get into it. But the Giant's Causeway has always been a major factor for me as well, in that it's all about the basilica, the basalt, right? The base salt, salt of the earth. In case you're wondering why they have things like, the Holy Basilica. And nice ping-ponging today, D. Washimoto. Yeah, having a bit of fun with that. Just a couple of headlines of the anagogic stature. Let me see. Of course, I put on phonics eyes for this stuff. Passenger killed, Disney Lamborghini crash, course, dummy, daddy, I love it. There's I guess down in Disney, there's a track that you can go and hit high speeds on in a Lamborghini or something, race car, continuous left turn after left turn in the Ovaltine track, Ovaltine just before you go to sleep, right? Keep you going, and have a look at the racetracks. They all go in a left-hand turn, constant. Have a look. Gee, I wonder why. So the first thing I thought, now this is April 13th, 2015. That's, let me see. That's today. A passenger riding in a Lamborghini at the exotic driving experience at Walt Disney World Speedway died Sunday after the sports car struck a guardrail. Oh, yeah, well, here. To that, I simply see this. Where was it? Yeah, the Lamborghini is dead. Hit the Kiro T Real, the guardrail. They only make left-hand turns in an Ovaltine track, you know. And nice mention on the Woodbine racetrack, seeing as I remember that being built north of Toronto in Rexdale. Oh look, Rexdale. Funny that, how these things work together. Yeah, the Lamb Borg Genie, the false one, hit the guardrail. There was another email right after that Dee had sent in regarding the important Passover request. Now, I want to go through a little bit of this with you guys because I want to show you how absolutely programmed and fucking mental these people are that are trapped in this construct of the false Jews. They got you chasing your tail in every direction in the physical sense. Talk about having no time to breathe. Yeah, by the grace of GD, Eve of search of Shemetz. And of course it's G-D. It's no, by the grace of GD, yeah, the hex of duality. Yeah, there's no woman there. Dear friend, like their fellow Jews across the globe, my teammates at Chabad are right now scrubbing their stoves, mopping their floors, disposing or sealing off their Shemetz leavened items, koshering their dishes, and grinding their maror, bitter herbs, among a myriad of other Pesach, pissache, Passover preparations. Check this out. However, they are also summoned repeatedly to their computers to respond to questions from around the world. Well, summons the dead, yes. So here's some of the questions that were coming in to these ones that are summoning the dead. Excuse me. In Ghana, what can I do about a setter? Yeah, setter. Take some time and have a look around and see the magic of connecting these sounds and words and the concepts that they contain. The purpose of what it is they are, not what they are literally. What are they doing? Why can't we eat bread on Passover? Well, it's because someone told you. You believed it. What can I do about Seder? I don't know. Help yourself. Where can I buy gefilte fish for my grandmother? Gefilte. Where can I buy gefilte fish for my grandmother in Wyoming? Like, holy fuck. Can I kosher my coffee machine for Passover? I'm alone without family or a Seder in Miami. Do you think it is okay to bring my non-religious friend to the Seder at Shabbat? And what is the significance of discussing the plagues at the Seder? Am I allowed to take my blood pressure medicine during the Passover holiday if it's not kosher for Passover? What kind of pet food can my cat eat during Passover? With their signature patience and care, despite all else going on, our team members painstakingly respond to each individual, helping to ensure that he or she feels connected to and comfortable with his or her Jewish heritage. Yeah. Indeed, all year round. Now, ask the rabbi scholars. Yeah, puke, puke, puke. Fucking idiots. What kind of pet food? Yeah. Another email that came in. Thanks, Lisa. Hi, Kate. I'm a single parent, 2 kiddos, homeschool, do permaculture. So we're starting to, control our own food security and the education of the children. Yeah, good idea. Taking care of your own. I'm very interested in what you're talking about with names. I've read your blog and listened to your podcast. I still don't get it. Can you enlighten me? Yeah, just stay tuned. And it just takes a bit of practice on your own. And my response was simple. Best to keep tuning in and read at loseaname.com. The essays will open your own reality for you. That was the intention and purpose of the essays. Again, not personifying. That's what the essays, what their purpose is. No, they're pieces of paper. Okay? They're things. So I leave them as things. I don't personify them. Them, their, they, right? So it's those are intentive ideas to personify something from dead to life. Sort of the guilt by association. There is us, right, together, us, in the living form. They, everyone else, like you. I would say, who are you and who are they, talking about people in general. So when you talk about pieces of paper in that way, you're personifying them. So they're just essays. They're not personified. You're the personification. They're ideas. Living ideas that you will find within yourself. Okay? Yeah, it is the very idea of a name at all that enslaves humanity. Living in a world of things personified from paper to 3D illusions, breathing life into the clay, the paper dolls, the 1D or wonders, the two-dimensional flat earth, paper, legal dead fiction, paper doll reality. When you think that you are that, you are breathing life into that, creating the world around you. Literally. That's how it works. Now, I want to get into sedition. I also did a quick run-through of how one letter can transpose into another, and a couple of letters I haven't been able to correlate into every other letter of the alphabet is the two letters N and M. So I'll have a look at that in a little bit. It was just before the show that I was doing this. It works something like this. The K, or the K sound, can also be a C, right? Cat. City, cat. Both with C's. One is an S, one is a C. So K can become the C, can become the S, which can become the F, if you look at Constitution. The old versions, the transpondence from the F looking, it's like an F hole in a violin. It's an S with a bar through it. So the F is the cutoff. S at the bottom. Have a look at it, you'll see it. So the F can also be a PH, telephone. So paha, H is silent, becomes a P, which is a mirror of spirit breath, becomes an R. Goes on and on, right to left, L, E, L. So what I was doing was showing how every letter can be replaced with every letter to reconstruct your own definitions. And the more you do this, the deeper it goes and the funnier it gets. It's quite funny, actually, when you see some of the things like the sedition. Get off the couch, you couch potato. You might call it sedition. But isn't it interesting that cetaceous Hebrew character is actually a moth of the family Noctu I die. Noctudae, thanks. It is found in the pale Arctic ecozone. Behold a pale horse, right? That's the Palearctic ecozone. It is common species throughout Europe, blah, blah, blah. So see the concept of the cetaceous Hebrew character. It's a moth. It's also why is it called that? Well, because it's got the cetaceous Hebrew character on its wings. The wingspan, here it is. The Hebrew letter Nun, 15th century Ashkenazi bookhand. And I put the link up on Facebook. Have a look at it. And there's the creator-destroyer, none. None shall pass. Right? Speaking of Passover. Right? All right. Where was it going? So that's the cetaceous Hebrew character. And, of course, cetacea is something else altogether. So we have the Mothman idea here. And we go to, let's tie it together. For those that have an understanding of not taking things too serious, the whole idea of dolphins, porpoise, and whales, the water aspect, serious, right? You see, for anyone that's done any research, my apologies because this stuff goes so fast within me. I just see the dots connecting. I do my best to explain them. But cetacea is simply this: the infraorder Cetacea includes the marine mammals commonly known as whales, dolphins, and porpoises. Cetus is Latin and is used in biological names to mean whale, whale. Its original meaning, large sea animal, was more general. It comes from ancient Greek, ketos, used for whales and other huge fish or sea monsters. Cetology is the branch of marine science associated with the study of cetaceans. Moths, or, letters, or mammals, what is it? Again, in the sound, it takes on entirely different forms. It expands. You see more in the one sound. An ancient ancestor of the whale. Oh, look, here we go. Basilosaurus. Speaking of Basilica, Basilosaurus, I hadn't read this yet, was thought to be a reptile. Oh, funny that. Until vestigial parts were recognized. Traditionally, Cetacea was treated as an order, but it has become increasingly aware, based on physiological data, that cetaceans are not only a clade of even-toed ungulates, but that even-toed? Isn't that interesting? Arthur and the Invisibles, all the little people had 4 digits, where Arthur had 5. Yeah, even-toed ungulates. Well, then put them both together. You have 10 fingers, even number, 10 toes, even number. But it's an odd number on each side, right? But it's still an even number because you have 5 toes, 5 fingers, making 10 digits, right? Always see the cross. Always cut things in 2 to put them back together, all right? Or was it? But that cetacea might be recognized as an infraorder. Fossil evidence suggests that the cetaceans share a common ancestor with hippopotamuses. Oh, there's that hippocampus coming in. Water horse, right? Hip. Look at the Orion constellation. You'll see the outside stars are titled Hip. Right. Without the names, you'll see Hip, number, whatever. Right. Po, spirit seed. Hip, po, po. Seed upon seed. Ta, muse. Muses. Yeah. That began living in marine environments around 50 million years ago. Anyway, I could go on about this, but I want to get to sedition. What is sedition? Cetaceous, sedacious, DT. What, you got delirium tremors? Anyway, carry the sounds through and watch the things unfold magically. This article is about the legal term, sedition. For other uses, see sedition, disambiguation, not to be confused with sedation or seduction. Because when you're in sedition, there's no chance that you can be sedated, put back to sleep, or seduced, tempted back into the Luciferian construct. True story. In law, sedition is overt conduct, such as speech and organization. That's what we do. That is deemed by the legal authority, which is not ours, to tend toward insurrection, against the established order. Yeah, well, the established order is one of slavery. Of course we destroy that. Sedition often includes subversion of a constitution and incitement of discontent or resistance to lawful authority. Well, it depends on who's making the laws, right? A lot of assumption there, and just that term, lawful authority. Man-made lawful authority or creation lawful authority? This is directed only to the man-made, thinking that, that is individuals thinking that they are greater than truth and creation itself. Luciferian, if you will. Sedition may include any commotion, though not aimed at direct and open violence against the laws. Oh, of course not. Seditious words in writing are seditious libel. A seditionist is one who engages in or promotes the interests of sedition. Where was it? There was one line in here. Typically, sedition is considered a subversive act, and the overt acts that may be prosecutable, non-pursuable, under sedition laws vary from one legal code to another. Well, that's why we don't play in the codes, because they can't even make up their own minds. Where the history of these legal codes has been traced, there is also a record of the change in the definition of the elements constituting sedition at certain points in history. This overview has served to develop a sociological definition of sedition as well within the study of state persecution. Oh, yeah. There was something about constituted that I had seen. There it is. History and common law jurisdictions. The term sedition in its modern meaning first appeared in the Elizabethan era, Elizabeth I. Okay, that's back in the 1500s, circa 1590. As the notion, this is what it is, as the notion of inciting by words or writings disaffection towards the state or constituted authority. Constitute, dead. Con, with. Statute, standing. Dead. Where's the authority in that? In the constitute, dead authority. The only thing that gives the Constitution any legs to walk on to make it withstanding, remember the notwithstanding clause? There's nothing in the legal world that has any standing whatsoever, except that you make it upright by thinking those are the upright laws of your reality. So you're the one that's peeling the two-dimensional laws and making them 3D, and there you are in your slave reality. You're worshiping dead people. They don't care if it's got the face of a 14-year-old king or an 80-year-old king. I don't give a fuck. Because I don't know. I can look at the meat stick and go, yeah, that's what that looks like, but I don't know what's in behind it. Only through their actions will you know that. So put these actions to the test within yourself. And don't worry, you'll find it in everybody else. It just works that way. Yeah, I haven't even got started on fanatically busting apart sedition. But I'll tell you what, I want to get into Zechariah tonight, too. I'm going to have a bit of fun with that. Excuse me. Let me go to etymology, just for gits and shiggles. For those that want to call in, just to let you know, it's BTR listener 050, and that's for Skype, BTR listener 050. To call in on the landline, you can use 347-637-3265. And don't forget there is the continuation table, or I like to think of it as the start table for the next table that I get to sit at too, constantly in the now. So it's all good, and we'll get Rorschach to give you guys all the details on that one as well. Now, etymology. Let's look up sedition just to see where it roots. Etymology is the most fun place for me. It opens everything up real quick. Let me see. Well, it's not to be confused with seduction or what was the other one? Seduction. Well, here, I got rid of it already. Sedation or seduction. Those were the two it wasn't to be confused with. And yet here is seduction showing up on the same etymology page. Anyway, sedition, noun, mid-14th century. Rebellion, uprising, revolt, mid-14th century. Ring a bell? That'd be the mid-1300s. 1381 being the People's Revolt. Anyway, rebellion, uprising, revolt, concerted attempt to overthrow civil, evil, see evil. Yeah. Talk about the civil shepherd. But anyway, to overthrow the loving evil authority. C, the unconditional note of the middle C, the heart, the love, unconditional truth. Evil. Yeah, anvil that. Take a hammer to that anvil. To overthrow civil. That's why I drive a Civic. C-I-V-I-C, not C-I-V-I-L. Right. Funny, it's Japanese too, isn't it? Yeah, that's what I thought too. Violent strife between factions, civil or religious disorder. Well, they're both one and the same. There's no or there. Civil and religious. Might as well call it what it is. They're one and the same. disorder, riot, rebelliousness against authority. From Old French, sédition, 14th century modern French, sedition. And, well, there we go. Say, die, shun. Say, creation of T, creation of truth you shun. Or the creation of lies. Uppercase T, lowercase. Again, it's a duel. Every word is a duel. You have to win the duel in every word to make it yours, positive. All right? And directly from Latin, it looks like seditionum, nominative seditio. They got a lot of this ischio shit going on, don't they? Civil disorder, dissension, strife, rebellion, mutiny, literally a going apart, separation from. Say, S-E, hyphen, apart. It says see secret, so we'll have a look at that one, shall we? So say ischio, a going, apart, a going, from past participle of ire, to go. Oh, Ireland, to go to the light and dark, creation itself. So there's another phonetic breakdown, another definition contained within IRE. So when I see these are the things that trigger with me, because they're my experience. You know, someone that's Scotland. Let's say Scotland. When you see SCOT, it's going to trigger with you. If you see something like GLASS, you know, Glasgow slippers, and you know all of these things, regardless of where everything that you have, where you're from in your alpha omega life experience matters only to you. And when you see how it matters to you, you see how it matters to all of us, and it all connects us. All right? So there's another one. Did not know that. Now, ion, I-O-N, means, that's another, it's what it's saying, from past participle of ire, I-R-E, to go, see ion. So let's check out secret first, and then we'll come back to ion to bring another level of understanding as to what to go means. You know, sedition. Yeah, to go. Secret, to keep secret, described in OED as obsolete. 1590s from secret, noun, related, secreted, secreting. That's the verb, to keep secret. The noun, secret, late 14th century again, from Latin secretus, you know, secretion, oozing, set apart, withdrawn, hidden, concealed, private. Yet secreta, to secrete something, brings it out into the open, right? Like a pus secretes, or a cyst secretes pus. See it in the mirror, right? So while it's saying to set apart, withdraw, hidden, conceal, private is actually out in the open, to reveal, to unlock at the same time. It's past participle of cernere, to set apart, part, divide, exclude from. It's from say, without, apart, properly, on one's own. See S-E hyphen plus cernere, to separate. See crisis. Oh, yeah. This is how I trailed stuff at the very beginning. I said, oh, really? A lot. Oh, really? Isn't that interesting? And that connects to that, to that, to that. And it just, when you just do this, it opens up naturally. I didn't go looking for this. It found me. I just went looking. Ion, noun, from 1834. Introduced by English physicist and chemist Michael Faraday. Faraday cage, are we in one? Yes. Suggested by the Reverend William Whewell, English polymath. Coined from Greek ion, neuter present participle of ine, go. From Pi root, E-I, E-I-O, to go to the womb. E-I, to go, to walk. Cognates, Greek, E-I-M-I, I go. Emmy, funny how that works. I go. Latin, ire, Ireland. Ire, to go. Itter, away. Old Irish, atame, I go. Yeah, I got that one. Again, this is show and tell for me. I'm looking at it. I go, Irish Bothar, a road from Bu Itro, Cow's Way. Oh, yeah, Gaulish, emu, we go. Well, Gaulish, that, huh? Golly gee. Emu, I thought that was a flightless bird. Yeah, we go. The way of the flightless bird, no thanks. That's a dodo thing. Gothic, ija, went. Sanskrit, at, goes. Jesus, this is fun. Imas, we go. Ayanam, a going way. Oh, Ayaname? Ayaname? Just depends on how the slang you put into the spelling. Ayaname, a what? Ayaname, a going, a way. It's funny how it shows up in Gothic as well. Sanskrit, right, actually. Avestan, aeti, goes. Old Persian, ati, goes. It's all about going here. Ireland, go to the light and dark. Not to the Lord, light or dark. Yeah, they have lords in London, you know. Lords and law dies. Funny how that works. Bulgarian, ida, I go. IDA. Oh yeah, id, id? Entity? Id? Ego? Yeah. Id, go? Id, ego. It says to go. Ida? Idaho? I go ho? Potatoes? What are you, couch potato? Russian iti, to go. So called because ions move toward the electrode of opposite charge. Huh. Funny that. You see why you've been living in the literal. Every one of the ions, associate ions. That's the way you go. Well, it says right there, ion, to go. Associate, I go. And of course it's pronounced associations. But it's hidden in the spell of ion, Latin, to go. Every other language I can see here means the same thing. Right across the board, it's saying the same thing. Sedition. Sedi, ion. See, this is where French comes in and Latin comes in really, really handy. How about ce soir? I don't care if it's a CE or an SE. An SA, a CA. It's all the same to me. Ce soir, this evening. Ce dit, this, say. This, again. You see, what's happening here is the spells are literally folding into themselves constantly. Blindly, and we've been following these blindly. Now it's just a situation of follow your nose. So say D, T ion, or shun. The creation of creation shun, or the creation of truth, I go. The magic is beyond words. And you need to see it for yourself. I can talk about this all day long. And if you're not doing it, it won't mean a hill of beans of shit to you. You'll still be dancing around the 7 hills of Rome. The idea here is to get home, and you got to kind of paddle your own boat. Row, row, row your own boat. There's the paddles. Phonics. Dare to break your programming, just once. For those of us that have broke our programming of the language, tongue pledge, to remove all power of any intent going to the dark principality, you might, if you're interested in that, not feeding Lucifer and the dark principality and the mayhem and murder and death of this place, if that is your intention, get your crayons out. And that intention will manifest so much faster for you, right before your very eyes, and you will be left breathless, as I and many of us have been. In so many woe moments, I've lost count. So there you go. Pretty simple. Where else did we want to go there? I think I covered them. Yeah, the ion and the secret. Getting back to seditious. Meaning conduct or language inciting to rebellion against a lawful government. Well, yeah, lawful? By whose definition? Theirs or mine? Enslaving another in the Most High Law is pure evil. And that's what all man-made laws are designed to do, to enslave. If you worship in their world, then you think slavery is fine. Stay at it. Knock yourself out. Don't say I didn't tell you. Don't do that. It's from 1838. An old English word for it was Folkslight. Folcslite. Yeah, false-light. Folcs. Right? C can be an S. O can make an aw sound, yeah? Octopus. False light. Yeah, meaning conduct or language inciting to rebellion against lawful government. It's from 1838. An old English word for it was false light. Less serious than treason, as wanting an overt act. I see. We don't commit treason. We are the tree son. Tree of life. But it is not essential to the offense of sedition that it threaten the very existence of the state or its authority in its entire extent. No, especially if you can get a bunch of peasants to hold up the St. George's banner and the banner of the king to say, yes, we're still your slaves. Please treat us nicely. That's like the slave walking up to the master saying, you're going to give me 10 lashes. Is it okay if I just have 5? Of course, the master, knowing that the slave is quite happy being a slave, is quite happy to, okay, well, fine. But next time it'll be 10, okay? Oh, okay, thank you. Please, sir, may I have some more of your bullshit? No, thanks. No, thanks. So come on in here, guys. 1 minute 2 and 13 seconds. Or an hour, 2 minutes and 6 seconds now until rollover. So let's get in here. All you have to do is hit 1 on your dial pad. And on the Skype dial pad or the phone dial pad to let me know that you want to talk. If you don't need to do that to be on the rollover, just reminding everybody again, as long as you're on the board, you go into the rollover anyway, and that's another hour or so from now. So the number is BTR listeners 050 for Skype and 347-637-3265. I wanted to get into Zechariah tonight. So I was wondering if anyone wants to come in and join me and have some fun with us. Let me see. Zechariah. Let's go to, 14 was the one that triggered, but of course 13 had to go back and check it as well. So let's check that out. All right. Guess I'm still talking, so let's just do this. You're on your own, Kate. I know. Zechariah chapter 13. In that day there shall be a fountain open to the house of David and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem for sin and for uncleanness. Oh, yes. That's the fountain we all washed ourselves in. Once of this world, no longer. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will cut off the names of the idols out of the land. And they shall no more be remembered. And I also will cause the prophets and the unclean spirit to pass out of the land. And it shall come to pass that when any shall yet prophesy, then his father and his mother, that's the heart and your intent, that begat you, shall say unto you, thou shalt not live, for thou speakest lies in the name of the Lord. Now let's go to the physical on this, right? Mother and father, physical. Watch. And it shall come to pass that when any shall yet prophesy, then his father and his mother that begat him shall say unto him, Thou shalt not live, for thou speakest lies in the name of the Lord. And his father and his mother that begat him shall thrust him through when he prophesieth. And it shall come to pass in that day that the prophet shall be ashamed, every one of his vision, when he hath prophesied. Yeah, prophesied, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we beat the shit out of ourselves. Neither shall they wear a rough garment to deceive. No, bare ass naked on this one. But he shall say, I am no prophet, I am an husbandman, for man taught me to keep cattle from my youth. Yes, you see how that works? I'm no prophet. What I learned throughout my life was taught to me by others outside of me. I need you to see this. For man taught me to keep cattle from my youth. The spirit of Lucifer, Katiel. I am a husbandman. For man taught me to keep cattle from my youth. You, Theos, your own creation, Christ within. Verse 6. And one shall say unto him, What are these wounds in thine hands? Well, that's where we got crucified, silly. Then he shall answer, Those with which I was wounded in the house of my friends. Friends and family, huh? Fucking crucified you, didn't they? How many times did you ask yourself why when dealing with those closest to you? They claim to love you and claim to be blood and claim to be this and claim to be that. Yet where are they now? Those are my wounds. I'll show you my hands. And one shall say unto him, What are these wounds in thine hands? Then he shall answer, Those with which I was wounded in the house of my friends. Awake, O sword, against my shepherd, and against the man that is my fellow, saith the Lord of hosts. Smite the shepherd, the one that taught you the lies. The shepherd here is the false Abel, the one that is literally gathering souls, sheep, to render unto the Lord, where the mirror of that is bringing the child, the true child of creation itself, to the light and dark, creation itself, the land. We've been sailing on the waters of truth for a long time. Time to hit the shore, don't you think? Yeah, I thought so too. Awake, O sword, against my shepherd, and against the man that is my fellow, saith the Lord of hosts. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered, and I will turn mine hand upon the little ones. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. Now, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die means come to light. Die in Latin means day. And there's your tau, te. You just got to go a couple layers in to see these things. It's not deep. This is not very deep to go, but it shows you exactly what's going on. Tau, ta, tav, source itself. That's a truth of gold, T-A-U, ta. Or T-A-W is, the lies of the Antichrist duality, W. So there's a most high and a most low version of the same sound, ta. Emerald tablets of Tot. T-A-U hyphen capital T. The womb of you in the truth. The emerald tablets of Tot. Emerald City, if you will. The emerald kitty, the cat within. Ka-Ti. Personified spirit of the Christ mind in the truth of consciousness itself. Step out. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. Yes, only a third fell, remember. But the third shall be left therein. Yep, left in the cooker. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and I will refine them as silver is refined. and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my God. Mirror, mirror, over again. You starting to see the magic of this book? The things that are hidden in the words? What is really being said far and beyond what is literally being taught? Well, I'll tell you what's being taught to me is the anagogics, the most high meaning of it. So we go to chapter 14. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle. Oh, yeah, all those against the truth. Yeah, well, they love their fighting and killing and murdering, so gather them up. Let them slaughter each other. How many times has that shown up in this book? And the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished. Oh, yeah, we know all about that. And half the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then shall the Lord go forth and fight against those nations, as when he fought in the day of battle. Excuse me, this is the idea of getting the truth out there. Each one of you that does this is playing this role. And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives, which is before Jerusalem on the east, and the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof toward the east and toward the west, and there shall be a very great valley, and half of the mountain shall remove toward the north, and half of it toward the south. Yeah, this is this is the internal work that you're doing. You're seeing the difference between the light and dark, where you've made your choice between light or dark. And the more you move these mountains apart within you, the lies and the truth apart, the higher you climb. And you see exactly where you are. Chapter 5, or 14, chapter 5. This is Zechariah, by the way. And ye shall flee to the valley of the mountains, for the valley of the mountains shall reach unto Azal. I saw Azazel, but anyway. Yea, ye shall flee like as ye fled from before the earthquake in the days of Uzziah, king of Judah, and the Lord my God shall come, and all the saints with thee. And it shall come to pass in that day that the light shall not be clear nor dark. But it shall be one day which shall be known to the Lord, not day nor night, but it shall come to pass that at evening time it shall be light. Yeah, see much of that these days? Yep. And it shall be in that day that living waters shall go up from Jerusalem. That's you. Half of them toward the former sea, and half of them toward the hinder sea. Yeah, that's you plant a seed. Here's your soul. You want it or not? No? Yes? No? 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 Okay. Yes? Oh, okay. Good, good. Whatever you choose, good. Good for you. Apparently it's good for you. You'll choose what's right for you. Death, you want? Okay, whatever. Life, I'd call that a good call, but that's just me. So again, when you're going out telling the truth, hand someone a biff. Right? Babylon has fallen. Here you go. Listen to this again. And it shall be in that day, that's now, that living waters, you, shall go out from Jerusalem. That's the heaven within. You've built your Jerusalem again inside. Right? It's not a physical city. It's a spiritual one, unbuilt by hands. You build this in the spiritual world within you. Of course, when you hand it out, half of them toward the former sea, and half of them toward the hinder sea. One's heading to truth, one heads back into the bullshit. In summer and in winter shall it be. And the Lord shall, black and white. It's easy to see it. Watch the mind. And the Lord shall be king over all the earth, light or dark. In that day shall there be one light or dark, and his name one. I can go into deeper aspects of this. I just want to make it more about you, so you can see this whole book is about you. It's not about these false characters. It's telling you about you. And all the land shall be turned as a plain from Geba to Rimmon, south of Jerusalem, and it shall be lifted up, and inhabited in her place from Benjamin's gate, tribe of Benjamin, the child, unto the place of the first gate, unto the corner gate, and from the tower of Hananiel unto the king's wine presses. I mean, there's so many layers in there. It's beautiful. And finding the heart. That's your cornerstone. The kati, the corner. Kor, near, kati. one who bows to the heart in the spirit of truth and the Christ mind of truth consciousness. You can say it corner gate if you want. Just showing you a few layers that you might not have noticed. And from the Tower of Hanalil, there's that Hanali, remember? Puff the Magic Dragon? Yeah. Not Hanali, it's Hananil. Neil? Get it? Neil? Got it? Anyway. Unto the king's wine presses. That's bowing to the truth. It's going fractal right now. Yeah, it's beautiful. And men shall dwell in it, and there shall be no more utter destruction, but Jerusalem shall be safely inhabited. Yep. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Oh yeah, they've debated this one, haven't they? Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. Yep. They still think they're dead. So anyone that still thinks their illegal name is in the process of physically dying, decaying, because of that choice. And people wonder why I tell you. While you worship the dead, you become as the dead. Every agreement you have as a proton or an electron versus being simply a neutron, neutral, is decaying. By the very breath you breathe, the oxygen is destroying the human body. That's what it does. It's toxic. Yeah, toxic gene. Oxygen. Where was it? And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem, fought against the truth, debated it. Legal name is fraud. It is legal to use one. And of. But this constitutes... shut up. You see... You'll see and I'm loving watching you guys. As soon as you watch something you can't get, like me, you can't get past the first few seconds. As soon as they mention one legal term, it's like, oh, big letdown. Next. Huh? Yeah, you too, huh? And of course these people are touting it as this victory. And still waving St. George's banner and the King's flag, are you? Still think their rules rule you, do you? Yeah, they're a bunch of fucking liars. They make up good rules to the degree that it looks like they're trying to do the right thing, but since when does anyone judge anyone? You're already judged in the action. Don't worry, creation takes care of it. And the only thing that man-made law has done is slowed down the natural order process of taking care of this shit. So while you agree with the shit stays in place. But you are literally physically dying believing or thinking you are a name at all. If it's still on paper in your mind and heart and soul, whether you're just using it to sustain, you're going to be the one that makes this decision within yourself. And I've talked to a lot of different people about this. And we know what this really means, to not be of while being in Babylon. It's kind of a, short of putting the 9mm in your own head, it's kind of hard to not be here, So I went with that. It's a very logical thing. Oh, I'm here. Oh, gotta feed this thing, gotta clean it. Yeah, okay. Just, the standard, looking after a pet. That's what I look at it as. Just taking care of a pet. And that's it. Keep the little pet happy, the meat stick, the demon, whatever it is you're walking around in. Okay? But while you think you're a proton, male, electron, female, and only a proton, electron, you are literally decaying each other. Cool, huh? So you got to get neutral on this. Become the neutron, that which is the strong and weak force that balances these things out within you, so that your protons and electrons aren't destroying you in the spiritual sense. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. While they use an ID, yep, they're dying. Literally. Decaying. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, their lies. And their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Yes, speaking poisons, lies, not understanding what phonics and what you're really creating with these words. Sound is creation itself. And all you need to do is get that concept. This is not about spending 20 years studying one thing. No, this is just about getting the idea through your fucking skull that the words you speak are poisonous until you take the poison out of them. Or you're going to hang around like some chubchik, shamatz, and shlamil, worrying about whether your cat's fucking pet food is kosher or not. Morons. And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from the Lord shall be among them. Oh, yeah. And they shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. We can call those court cases. Your tree is on my property line, and this fence needs to, we need that oil. Let's go, you see? Neighbor against neighbor. Cutting their neighbor's shit. Yeah, great tumult indeed. That's what a court case is. And they shall lay hold every one of the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. Whether it's with a gun, a sword, or a piece of fucking paper. That's the hand rising up against your neighbor. I will not rise up against my neighbor. And Judah also shall fight at Jerusalem, and the wealth of all the heathen round about shall be gathered together, gold and silver and apparel in great abundance. The false Jews. Yeah, they've been stealing the wealth and everything. Yep. They've gathered it all up. Gold and silver and apparel in great abundance. And so shall be the plague of the horse, of the mule, of the camel, and of the ass, and of all the beasts that shall be in these tents, as this plague. Oh yeah? Whores? Mu, El, mother of Lucifer. Mu, cow. Hathor of Lucifer. Ka-mi-el, the spirit of magnetic electric Luciferian. And there's the ass, the Don Key. Azazel. Oh yeah. And of the beasts that shall be in the tents as this plague. Those are the beasts within all of us. These are just allegories telling you what they are in a literal sense. Phoenician or phonics sound itself will tell you what they really are at a much deeper level. And it shall come to pass that every one that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain. And if the family of Egypt, this is what it's talking about here, go not up, and come not, they have no rain. Those that choose the truth have all the rain and water. That's what that's telling you. The rain is the truth. Rain to rule oneself. Time for some rain, dear. That's your own sleigh. You're your own reindeer, Santa. Yeah, you determine how high the sleigh flies. Where was it? And if the family of Egypt go not up, that's the false Jews, the Egypt ions, and come not, and that have no rain, there shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. As it is written, so it is done. Wake up or perish. This shall be the punishment of Egypt and all those that worship the legal name. That's Egypt. City of London, Rome, Washington, D.C., all of these things are all Egypt. This shall be the punishment of Egypt and the punishment of all nations that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. In that day shall there be upon the bells of the horses holiness unto the Lord, and the pots in the Lord's house shall be like the bowls before the altar, bowels before the altar. Oh yeah. Yea, every pot in Jerusalem and in Judah shall be holiness unto the Lord of hosts. Now here's where it gets interesting. And all they that sacrifice shall come and take of them, and seethe therein. Oh yeah, those that fed on the child. Oh yeah. And in that day there shall be no more the Canaanite in the house of the Lord of hosts. Strudel, toast everywhere. Anyway, let's get you guys rolling here. Again, 347.
I'm a medic. I found you.
Oh, one sec. I'm trying to open the mics here, guys, so you got your hand up. Just keep that in mind. Mute on your end. Thanks.
I don't have that much stuff.
Okay, well, we won't bother with that one. All right, 347-637-3265 to call in. BTR listener 050, 39 minutes, 36 seconds to roll over. How's it going? Oh, wait, the mics are open. Wow. Okay. Where are we here? Let's just do a tune. Two hands up, open both mics. One's too busy talking, the other one won't say a word. Ready. Let's play in the now, shall we? You see, when I hit one on the dial pad, I'm sitting there waiting for the mic to be open. I don't take my mind off it, and I stay muted on my end waiting for it. Funny how I do that. All right. Just a curious thing. That's all it is. Yeah, here. Let's do this one.
All right. That's what love is for. Take one.
You just might convince me if you say it long enough. 'Cause I've been sitting on the sidelines so long, it's a wonder I stood up. Guess we met out on the same road, often traveled empty lives. A drifter's heart is tough to settle down, but when it does, he knows it's time to give him everything he's got. He's not paying for a round trip anymore. It's all or bust. No point in walking half miles. It was this extra mile that got me to your door. I guess that's what love is for. Waking up became a burden. Hard to see a shuttered sun. There were only rain clouds in the distance, no sign of letting up too soon. And there you were, just like an angel. You took me in and held on fast, healing hands and nothing more than whispers. You kissed my heart and made it last. It's time to give in everything I've got. I'm not paying for a round trip anymore. It's all or bust, no point in walking half miles. It was this extra mile that got me to your door. Time to give in everything I've got. I'm not paying for a round trip anymore. It's all or bust, no point in walking half miles. It was this extra mile that got me to your door. I guess that's what love is for. I guess that's what love is for. Yes, that's what love is for.
Hello. All right. Let's try this one. Let's see if that works. Rohan, you there? There you are. Yeah. So here I am thinking, why do I do this? Why do I bother? That's a question, by the way. So that's my question.
The ones you love.
Oh, okay. Why should I? These are. I don't want general answers. I want truthful ones. That's an easy one. Of course I do. So tell me why I do this. Why should I continue to do this? Yeah, I couldn't answer it either. So don't feel bad.
How is the mic tonight? Is it?
Oh, you sound great.
Is it okay?
Yeah, you sound great.
Okay, I'll leave it open.
Yeah, you're. It's rarely is there ever an issue with your mic, my friend. No, it's all good. I've been at the table for a while, But here's the truth. I got better things to do, guys. I got tracking to do here. I'm just trying to share what I've been tracking. Nobody wants to share what they've been tracking, then fuck off. Do your own show. I'm done. I've fucking said all I need to say. I don't see too many people coming in here with their adventures. It's usually the same ones all the time. Of what they've been doing with it to get the word out, and actually showing genuine interest, having genuine questions, and really genuinely being concerned about everyone instead of just themselves. So boy, it's a good thing I don't think that way. Maybe I should, though. Maybe try that one on for a while. I don't know. It's called needing purpose. If you got no purpose, well, no cetaceous. Why bother? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there for people. That's all.
Hey, can you hear me there?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was trying to talk, but it wasn't seeming like it was working. Anyway, I had some young guys over here last night. Showed them the Interstate 60 movie. They rather enjoyed it. One of the things that I wanted to talk about, because coming out of the legal lie and being duped, was I'm noticing just, we all are aware to various degrees, but I know that after having been saturated in the lie, just because we've discovered the lie doesn't mean we're not liars anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to work on that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We got to really work on that, because I've noticed. Because part of not being a liar to me is just being open, kind of an open book, not worried about other people. You don't have things really concealed. And I've always...
Let's paint the line really clear for people. It's as simple as this. Waking up to a legal name... Okay, there's an echo. Someone's got their speakers on. Check. There we go. Yeah, it's bad enough hearing it once in my head to hear it come back at me. Thanks. I got enough going on in my head without hearing it again. The simple line in the sand is this. Until you understand that you have been living an ignorant lie as a legal name fraudster your entire life, that's the moment you realize you've been living a lie and that your life is encompassed by lies. That's only the step-over point. That's where the work begins. You do the work within yourself.
Yeah, I agree, because I noticed that just just from having everyone over, and I'm not calling everybody liars, because we're saturated in the lie, and when people say that I'm just like you, and then in some ways, but I found out that we all have the work to do, and we can help each other out that way, but by no means are we not liars anymore. You got all the stuff to clean off you, the behavior.
That's the anagogic of the unicorn. That's the unique core infinite, the one heart infinite unicorn. That's what you see. While we all take a herd of unicorns, they're all unicorns.
Yeah.
But there's something different about each one. Each one is unique, and that's what the eunuch is all about. It's about taking the proton, electron, masculine, feminine, and castrating it together, putting the spirit straight. The eunuch, the idea of being castrated, is that anagogic idea of bringing the unity of the male-female of creation, all of creation within self. And it's got nothing to do with penises and vaginas. That's the distraction. Because in this world, it is all masculine. It's all masculine. The masculine. It's guys on guys. And what disguise are you wearing? This is why this whole notion of gay, bi, all of this stuff is so ludicrous. Because whether it's a guy and a girl, it's still, well, that's someone who is castrate. Straight. You're divided and conquered. Yeah, you're still not figuring out the fact that it's guys on guys here. Don't let the shapes of the bodies fool you. It's intent upon intent here.
Yeah.
It's easy to prove the intent.
Yes, that's it. The intent is the action that comes through. There where action speaks louder than words, and people are full of words but little action, even amongst the people I've met. And when given a way to go, or just a place to start, basically, I always see when given the opportunity to others how much energy they're willing to put into whatever it is they say they desire. And that tells me how badly they want it. If you're not willing to ante up and put your energy and whatever you got into the dream, that I guess you're really not.
Well, you get left out. That's the whole idea of what Zachariah was talking about in that book. That the idols. Here, let me go back to it. Scroll. I thought it was a rather poignant little thing to read. Where was it? It's Zechariah 13, chapter 2, or chapter 13, verse 2. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will cut off the names of the idols out of the land, the light and dark, and they shall no more be remembered. Best that you forget that yourself, because don't worry, creation will. So you can either be a part of creation as you, all of you, the complete you, or don't worry, you won't be remembered. I don't seem to recall too many gravestones that will withstand the, volcanic eruption. For those that want to have a really good anagogic look at a fractal within itself and the separation and what have you, highly recommend the one of three. It's a series, one of three, of how Britain was. I'm pretty sure I posted the link yesterday. Let me just scroll down. I know I did. But, take the time to watch it, but watch it anagogically. Don't watch it literally. It's fascinating, literally, but it's already been there. Do you remember a while back I had mentioned the being in the cubs, the wolf cubs? All about the dogs, eh? And within a couple of weeks of being in the cubs, I was made a sixer.
I'm not familiar. I don't remember.
Okay. Okay. Normally you have to be a second or first, but I got to be a sixer. I was probably the most shocked of all. But here's the interesting part. The color patch they gave my, if you want to call it, again, this is about your little patch, right? That's the noise going on, guys. Wiping their ass with the mic. Okay, thanks. Anyway, the patch color was tawny. It's kind of a tan color. And it was a little triangle patch that you had on your left sleeve. It was sewn on to the shirt to denote what pack you were in. So I was a sixer of the tawny pack, where someone was a sixer of the brown pack or the red pack or whatever. right?
Yeah, color.
Yeah, well, again, what were we talking about the other day? I was trying to figure out the relevance of tawny. Why did that matter when I was a kid? Well, it does matter because that's exactly what it is, tawny, which is the creation of the Christ mind. Ni represents born, right? Rene, Rene means reborn. If you want to see a legal use of it, you will see a Mrs. McDonald Nee Smith, okay? Born Smith, the maiden name. So this is the name that you're made in. This is your made-in name. What image are you made in? The Iron Maiden? That's a little prickly. Legal name gets you there.
Yeah.
So this Tawny is Ni, again, Neil, Neer, Niel, right? The 8-ball showed up in The Judge, too, by the way. I was tracking everything in that one movie last night. It was quite credible, actually. Watched it Once Upon a Time, Wounded Heart. Everything just locked together in one moment. Anyway.
It's a movie called Once Upon a Time?
It's a series.
I think
it's 90-something episodes now, but I've watched them all. And it for me at the time, when I was going through them, just watching them because they'd already been there, it was just like now, tracking the now. But what it was teaching me going through that was how to track the now better. And like last night, for example, I found myself going off in different, following the trails, right? And there were so many things that came in. There was the movie Dark City, the Judge movie, Once Upon a Time. What was the other one?
Winter's Tale. I just watched.
Yeah, that's another good anagogic of self-exploration and you literally being the legal name Ghost walking through the world until you come back to life. Renew yourself. Ye must be born again. You see, aken, which is to knowledge. You must be born to knowledge.
Right.
To wisdom.
That's it. The more you take in, the broader your sight, and the more you hear. That's what I'm noticing.
Well, see, here's the difference that phonics makes in your reality. You can literally use the word again to mean to do over, or you can see it from the phonetic of again, to gain something.
Right.
All right. To cane something, G replaced with the K. Right. To Cain, Cain, right? Going to Cain, Lucifer, aspect, Canaanite. Not Cain. A as a prefix means not.
Mm.
Okay, there's many different meanings to each letter. There are many different meanings to each word. When you bring all of the meanings collectively into the one letter or into the one word, you see how many sound traps there are. So again, can mean to do over or someone who is going to knowledge. Akain, to the spirit within. And if you stay literal with the definitions, then you're going to be going around in a circle. In the beginning there was the Word. You want to expand your word, then expand your words. Explode the mouth.
And you were saying intent, too, and that's really good to do when you're talking, is not to let your language be loose. I've been telling people this for a while. Once you know better, know the intent of those who set those words in play, basically, to change them with your own intent, if not knowing a better way to say it. I've been working on that all the time. So, and another thing was I started practicing, I've always kind of been this way, really, but just more so on everything. Make sure my word is good, and did I finish what I start for the day? And
completing your cycles, are you? Yeah. See, when you start approaching things from alpha, omega, if you start it, finish it. Otherwise, it's a contract hanging in the ether.
Right.
It's going to be a thought hanging around until you get it done. So get it done.
No loose ends, and then go ahead and just I just say dream my day in advance, say it, and then do it. So it's about saying the words and then doing the action and the completion. And when I'm finding out when you do that, and even so, with the capacity of your mind to be able to train your thoughts like windows on the computer screen, even though you're not just studying on that one, it's still on in your dream. So I was talking to Randy about that the other day, is how I've always co-created was by doing those things, making sure and Interstate 60 is great at that. The whole moral I caught from that was keep your word, and completely basically do what you say and say what you mean, like all the things were, and all the episodes or the segments in that movie. And in the end, if you do that, even the bad guys will love you, and when they mess with other people, and you get the girl in the end, or you know what I mean. You get the happily ever after life if you just go through everything and complete your word. So I can say everything that I have been graced with to be able to enjoy now and share with others has been begot that way, and it's awesome. So I feel totally fulfilled, loving having Randy here, and Bird will be on his way here probably by Wednesday. He'll be here for at least 6 days, but he's on his way to make it stay for a while, So anyways, I can just say to everyone out there that that's what I practice every day, and be open with other like-minded ones. Try not to be so guarded and concealed, because it's hard to build trust. And, I've flayed, just as an example, this isn't the first time that I've done this, but this is the first time that I've done this amongst people that are like-minded in this day and age, And I was really done with this until now, because they pretty much just stole everything, and no one, like I said, really, when given the opportunity, wouldn't put any of their own energy into it. They'd just take what was there and use what was there, and really didn't make it any better. And often leave me, hanging with big expenses. But anyway, in this case, put your energy into the ground, and I was able to, after all of that, to get blessed again with even more, and I'm just sharing it with like-minded ones. So I say, those who say they're like me or like that, I just say walk the talk, be open and share your dream, and be don't be so concealed, because that leaves one to believe that if you're concealing things and guarding things, usually people who are worried about their things like that and private things like that are people who do it to others, is what I found. Like, people who are worried about being lied to or still stole from are usually the ones that are doing it to others. So anyways, that's all I have to say on that. But as we're not just stop being liars just because we noticed that we were saturated in the lie. We really have to work on it with each other, and I think that's where that book called the Bible, where it says keep on putting up with one another, and this is where we're coming from, walks of all lives, into this Christos, into the knowing. And that's how I view it from my view. And if anybody has any comments on that, I'd be glad to hear them.
Well, yeah, absolutely. It's about doing the work on yourself. I had a response from that email, best to keep tuning in and read at loseaname.com. Yeah, so this is why you need to tune in, because this is all completely literal matrix trapped thinking, and the answer is so easy. I can tell you the answer, but you won't fucking believe it. That's not my problem. That's yours. This is for everybody out there that doesn't understand what's going on here with the legal name, and that you are worshiping a dark principality that's consuming you and feeding on you while keeping you in the illusion that you must have it in order to survive. Okay? And here's the email returned. And this is so typical. Guess, you got to listen back to a few shows, and all of this was very, very succinctly and clearly explained for everyone Watch the 2010 court appearance. Amazed you didn't get escorted outside, and when you asked them to back off, they did. I do have to ask, was this staged? So foreign to me. Well, yeah, in the grand sense, yeah. You know, all things for a reason. Was I aware of the stage? No. No. No, I was quite shitting myself. You know, terrified and frustrated and tired of being hassled already, and it was only, a couple of months in. I'd already been harassed a little bit up to this point. It intensified after that. Yeah, it was pretty foreign to me, too. But then again, that was 3.5 years ago, and we've done a little bit since then to show you how the system stages everything. I just wasn't aware of where on the stage I was. I am now. I control my own stage.
To the top there.
Yeah, well, it's whether, in terms of perspective and where you are, it's just the level of self-awareness and being able to, as you were saying, we put up with each other, and it's, a lot of head shakes and all the rest of it, but, we worked through it in working the stuff out for ourselves. So the email continued on. Here's where it got matrix, and you guys will see for yourselves where you are on Jacob's Ladder with this email and how you would respond to it. This is for you as well. This is for all of us. If it comes to me, it comes to you. I mean, I share it here, right? So, how do you survive with no name? Yeah, I asked that same question. Especially after everything was taken. How do I survive? Empty pockets, no one there. Freezing to death, that kind of thing. Yeah, I've been there. I know what that feels like. I asked the same question. How do I survive? Well, it's easy. It was impossibly easy. It's about accepting creation for what it is and getting out of the matrix. So you have to do that and see for yourself. They control so much here in Australia. No, they don't control anything in Australia. You think they do, therefore they do. It's by your agreement that you think someone controls you. That's who controls you. The they is you. They control so much here in Australia to the point where from next year you won't be entitled to, you're suckling off the whore, to CCB for daycare assistance for any family tax benefits, or to have your child in mainstream school, sports, or even attend a play space if they aren't vaccinated. Well, you see, that's a problem with being a soccer mom mentality. And that's what this is. This is a soccer mom mentality, and that applies to males and females. All a bunch of fucking soccer moms out there. You're caught in the matrix. You are just stepping into it for the first time, hon. So breathe. Hang out at the table a little bit. Read the essays. Listen to back to some shows. There's, I think, probably over 1,000 shows now. I would say if it's not 1,000 or over 1,000, it's close to it. Just saying. So the answers you seek, if you want to go back to 2011, 2010, 2012, whatever, and start listening all the way through, you'll get the whole story. But for me to continually go on and on about the same things, I'm just going to tell everyone the same thing. Go to loseaname.com, read the essays, and tune in here. Anything other specific than that, you're going to have to show up at this table to deal it one-on-one, because I'm not going to sit and write fucking books to each and every individual that's going to ask these questions where I've already answered them 1,000 times or more.
Kate, one of the things that I loved about finding out completely, when I heard you say about the legal name, I just went, it's natural, rip it out by the roots where it started, where the fraud started. And the other thing that was a great blessing was I was so sick of paperwork. So if I finally, I'm just done with it now. There's no need to do paperwork anymore.
Not a thing. Nothing.
Not a thing. And I just, it's the most simplest thing to do. It really is, because I had a young guy do it, and for the first time. And it's just to stand, is the hard part. Is to unwrap your mind and get that fear out with all the indoctrination is the hardest part. Solution
That's
simple.
The mind of the peasant. That's exactly what we're overcoming here, the mind of the peasant, thinking that we have to have a lord and master, someone that we have to ask to do what it is we are going to do naturally. You see? And that's the illusion that everyone's caught in. And I wouldn't say everyone, but the vastness of humanity, as far as I can tell, is caught in that. Sorry, a self-correcting moment. I will not claim that for everyone.
Yeah, no, it's the permission they have to get over getting. They really are needing permission. And they have to learn to give themselves permission to do what they desire and be able to respond to whatever that is, or be responsible all the way for it. Just, stand, and people are afraid of it.
If you won't stand for something, you'll fall for everything.
Exactly.
And I stand for the truth, while humanity is falling for every trick in the book here.
Yeah.
And there it is in a nutshell. When you destroy the whole idea, and not just the one legal name you think you were, I'm talking the whole idea of what the legal name represents as slavery. Once you destroy that entire idea out of your reality, knowing that it's all bullshit, because it is, chit and shit, C or S, it doesn't matter to me, because it's all about chits and tickets and all the rest of it. And you know where the chits come from, right out of Uranus. So the only time I, do any paperwork is in the bathroom, or if I'm doodling and working with my crayons and phonics, and making notes to bring back anagogic concepts as required. Other than that, that's paper in my full control, not my fool. See, I'm not the fool being controlled by paper. I'm in full control of the paper, and I know the power of me as I know the power of you. And that's all we're doing here, ripping that legal name, concept, idea, the whole idea of the Matrix, ripping that fucking tree out by the roots. Now, we got 8 minutes to the end of the show here. I'm not going to do the rollover. I got a couple of things that I want to get done here, but if Shocked or Roar are about and they want to, do a little chime in, I can't really assume that it's going to be a show, but Monday night they typically do one, so I kind of go with the flow on that. No assumption that there is one, but if there is, if you want to jump in, Roar or Shock, to share the number. If not, we'll just share the link anyway. That comes up at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I just got work to do. I got work to do, and I'm grateful for those of you out there doing the work. I think I can speak for some of us and say, I wish there was a lot more new people that would come in and present things that are concerns, that we can help others that are newer come in. And, it's like this. If you can't step onto this stage, then there's not a fucking hope you're going to step onto the world stage. Guaranteed. If you have an issue coming to this table and putting your hand up and sharing and asking questions and daring to take that ego of yours and bury it and maybe ask a question or two, there's not much I can say for you or to you, in that if you can't do that, I understand people being shy, and thanks for the heads up on that one, Sheila. Being shy in this way, fuck you. Fuck you. Okay? Fuck you. And I'm going to tell you why. Because being shy says it's okay for a child to die, and you don't care enough to get over your fucking shyness to come here and do it. Okay? So thanks for the heads up. That's a good one to remind people of. Yeah, I'm shy? Oh my God, you have no idea what shy is.
I agree. If you know what that means by participating in using that, now knowing, and like I said, come and do it. I mean, if you have any reason, it's to stop the murders, the wars, and everything else, just to,
Well, you wouldn't want me to start shying away from the table, would you? Being shy. Shying the truth. You wouldn't want me shying away from the table, would you? Well, why don't I, and see what happens? We'll see who's
all
shy.
you did was change the name one time, and shit hit the fan. You know what I mean? But can imagine that. So.
It is what it is. We're at the end game here, so I mean, if you're still shy at this point, here's the fear of truth in you. You better get over it quick.
Yeah, you're not going to like what's coming, that's for sure.
Nope, not at all. Now, I just want to quickly check the garbage can before I roll out of here. It's, like I said, I got work to do, so. Most of the work gets done on the Facebook page anyway, and it's always the same players.
You know what, Kate? I think that the reason why people need to pay attention is because if they don't find out how their body works internally and learn how to learn those senses, when the things happen, they won't know what to do. They'll be looking outside themselves for solutions.
Well, but it's not the body that they need to be focused on. This is exactly the opposite of what I'm talking about. It's not the body. Hey, Johnny, can I finish, please? Thanks. Just because I only got 4 minutes here. All right? You got to get out of the focus on the body. You got to stop worrying about the senses. Because everything in this physical reality is a fucking lie. So when you go within, that's not you within the body. That's you within creation. That's closing your eyes and having to listen.
Right.
And following your heart. Not the physical one.
No, that's what I meant. That's what I was...
Again, what you mean and what you say were two different things. So this is about being impeccable, keeping it away from this dead meat stick reality that people are at complete mercy to, taking care of and fearing for the protection and safety of the demon meat stick. And that's what the legal name says. The only thing you're worried about is taking care of the demon meat stick. Fuck creation. That's what it says to me. Yeah. So you're going to take care of you. Fuck the bullshit in the physical. Because once you start taking care of you, the bullshit in the physical takes care of itself. That's true. I know it's true. I know it's true. I don't... Yeah. You know it's true. I know it's true. There are many of us that know that to be absolute truth. And those that are still worried about their CCB, vaccination child syndrome and legal system stuff, you've got a long way to fucking go to wake up. Because the only authority in Australia or any place on this planet in terms of the literal atlas, that's the authority that you are granting by thinking that there is that authority. You're the one building that illusion. So you're the one that is actually reinforcing your own slavery and dying slowly as a result of it. Get out of Egypt. Babylon. Luciferian realms. That's all I'm going to say on that. You better learn the difference between a fucking dead meat stick, because if you want to see proof of that, go to a funeral home and see what a meat stick looks like without you in it. And that's what you're walking around in. It's already dead. And you go even further to feed through the bones. Watch Dark City tonight, guys. And you'll see exactly the intent of what I'm talking about, of that agreement going into those that parasite life itself. Yeah, you'll see it. It's quite a creepy little reality that you're in here, but then you get to choose which one you want. Me, I just... Day by day, baby. Day by day. Oh, yeah. There's not too few nights I don't sit... I cry by myself. I take my time. There's not many nights that go by that I don't ask that question of, whoa, enough. You know, like when, you know? We can go to Revelations on that one. Now, I'll bring what I learned in my own time here. And it would be my wish that others would do the same on a grander scale. Yeah, we have the stalwarts that are always here. Show me who you are. Show yourself who you are, more importantly. Because I'll tell you, if you're not willing to stand and, to get to the point of just manifesting yourself, your intent into the physical instead of being at fear of this meat stick, that's the control that's over you. You're an immortal being, for fuck's sakes. Stop buying into the lies. Anyway, 30 seconds, we're out of here. I think I'll finish off with a song just to roll out. But, 10 o'clock, GNIP, SNIP, I'm not sure, whatever. But the links will be shared in the Skype group and on Facebook and whatever. So, we're going to make it easy to get to the truth, or, make it a little bit hard. Because obviously it's too easy, and people aren't getting the fact that it's too easy. So, hey, what am I going to play? We just hit rollover, and I may show up at the other. I don't know. Depends on what I track down here. But here, have a listen, and I'll catch you guys, if not later tonight, tomorrow, whatever the case may be. And too late. Someone just put their hand up. I asked earlier, if you can't put it up early, then fuck you. And I mean that in the most loving way. So have a good night, guys.
Breathing life into a song takes a special breed of art, and how you play communicate, it must be there to start. It's nothing you can put in words, it's just a thing you know. From the minute that you get on stage until the curtain calls you home. Now the part you play that counts is how you play the game. Can't afford to lose the part, but I can't afford to wait. If I tell you wonder why, never feel the same. It's about that time that you'll understand. It's the nature of the game. When it's just you and a bunch of guys with an attitude to share, it's then that the men become the boys and the souls get laid out bare. It's the lighters on the concert night, fills the empty void. It's the cheer and the standing out and the thunder of applause. Now the part you play that counts is how you play the game. Can't afford to lose the part, but I can't afford to wait. If I tell you wonder why, never feel the same. Well, it's about that time that you'll understand. It's the nature of the game. Nature of the game. nature of the game.